Have you ever studied natural law? Do you feel like you have a firm grasp on what the classical worldview looks like? I have recently been in conversation with countless people about my Catholic faith and how I believe that it lines up with natural law. But Allie Marie, what is natural law? What do you mean? Well, it's how the world was created, the order that was given to the earth that was created by God. I don't believe that God created the earth or the universe. I believe that the Big Bang happened. That does make a big difference. Catholicism actually doesn't encourage creationism, but agrees and supports evolutionary theory. I guess that it would just boil down to, did the Big Bang just happen spontaneously, or was it God snapping his fingers and willing everything into existence? But you're using that to defend your moral views. Natural law would incorporate any aspect of evolutionary theory, including anything that people feel disposition to today and now. Interesting point. So you're saying that if God didn't create the earth, that natural law doesn't have a fundamental basis in what would be expected of something, and rather evolution would just continue to take its course and there wouldn't be anything finite to refer back to, but rather natural law is just continuously evolving with evolution. Exactly. And this is why you can't stake everything on your Catholic faith. If God's not real, none of it matters. This may sound unreasonable to some, but I am not a moral relativist. I am a moral realist. I believe that there is a finite reality that we can refer back to hold us accountable in how we are choosing to live our lives today based in the natural law that I believe God created. If I'm honest though, I haven't extensively studied natural law. So this Lent, I am going to be reading a book to help me understand at a much greater capacity how it is that natural law ties itself to Catholic theology. The book is called After the Natural Law. It's written by John Lawrence Hill, who is a law professor, and he also used to be an atheist and converted to Catholicism in 2009. He holds both a PhD in philosophy and his law degree from Georgetown University. He currently teaches constitutional law, torts, civil procedure, and legal philosophy at Indiana University at Indianapolis. In this book, he teaches how the classical worldview culminated over the past 2,000 years, beginning with Plato and Aristotle, culminating with St. Thomas Aquinas. The classical worldview is a philosophy that upholds that everything around us is ordered, intelligible, and intrinsically good. It says that there are objective moral truths that we can know, and that human beings can find true happiness only by following our inborn nature, which guides us toward perfection. He basically argues that this form of philosophy, known as teleology, is a necessary foundation for our most cherished moral and political values, which would be freedom, human rights, equality, personal responsibility, and human dignity. He says, and I quote, "Without a theory of natural law, our modern Western values lose their coherence. We literally cannot make sense of them." So in this book, as he guides us through these philosophical ideologies, he talks about how intellectually throughout history, there is a pendulum that swings between materialism and theism. And this is basically an examination of the arc of that pendulum. And honestly, from the way that Professor Hill describes in the introduction of this book, he takes the stance of many other moral philosophers that St. Thomas Aquinas is who perfectly synthesized both Christian theology and the Aristotelian philosophy. Now, unless I've miscounted, I saw 47 days of Lent this year, and I anticipate posting one video per year doing Lent alongside the subsections of this book, which also correlate with 47 subsections, with the conclusion being number 48. It's honestly anywhere between 3 to 10 pages per day, so I feel like it will be sustainable to achieve throughout Lent. And then my hope and goal would be that I would be able to share with you what it is that I learn in each of those segments, since I will be learning right alongside you, hopefully, a little bit more about natural law and how the classical worldview came to be and how it's integrated itself into our Western society as it exists today as well. Since I'm not a philosopher and I don't have a lot of education in philosophy, I'm very nervous that this book is going to go over my head and I'm going to mispronounce a ton of words, but I'm just going to do my best. My husband had said, anytime you hear somebody mispronounce a word, just bear in mind that they learned it from reading. It means that they are doing their independent research and they are learning from reading. They aren't just being talked to about it. It was an active choice on their part to learn about this particular topic. So anyway, if you're interested in reading along with me, obviously would love to have you, but either way, I hope that you find these videos helpful. Obviously, they won't be starting for another week. March 2nd is when Lent officially starts this year, so we still have about a week and a half. So if you want to read this book with me, please get it on order ASAP so that you don't miss a day. Also, I already read the introduction, so I would recommend reading that ahead of time. That is like your assigned summer reading. Or perhaps just read it alongside your pound key on Fat Tuesday. May God bless you today and always. May He grant you the resources that you need to draw closer to Him and in turn to those around you. And I pray that you're able to make it a great day. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll talk to you again soon.